Hello, how are you guys? So, okay, so if I'm gonna be honest, I just started talking to the camera about the gospel, and I just posted my first YouTube video yesterday, and I don't know, it feels so good to be able to tell people that they're wrong. And I know that sounds wrong, but my point is, don't we all want to tell people that you're wrong? Doesn't everyone want to feel right? Isn't that true? Like, I want to feel like I'm right and you're wrong. And I would say that's a pretty big issue. That's where there's that's kind of where a lot of conflict is stirred. Because if you're right, or if I'm right, then I get my way. Who doesn't want to get their way, right? I mean, I want to get my way. I'm right to an extent. I'm right to the extent where I'm then wrong. Yeah, all of us will either be wrong or right at any kind of moment. Maybe you're wrong, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm right, you're wrong. And I want to send a message out to men particularly, and relationships. This right and this wrong and this wrong and this right that goes in between people, that creates conflict. When there is true love and there is an understanding of the gospel and the scriptures, you have to turn the other cheek. You have to have understanding when it comes to trying to create trust and creating a bond in a relationship. We have to be interwoven and accepting of others and their flaws, and there has to be understanding. Okay, so my first video I did last night. I was talking about being a good person, and I think that you have to be a good person in order to find true love, and in order to be right, and accept being wrong, and there are. It's not about necessarily what you do or what you have, or it's about being righteous, okay? And the only way that you can be right, the only way that you can be righteous is to study Jesus and to study what he did, and to study and to follow his laws, to follow his commands. And I just want to remind you that you don't have to be successful. You don't have to be of this world. You don't have to have things. A healthy tree produces healthy fruit, and so it's what's inside of you, and it's something that you have to work for. It's not, being a good person is not something that's just given to you. You have to fight for it. So a good person produces good fruit, and what are the fruits of the tree? They're joy, kindness, gentleness, patience. All those things come from within, and that's what makes you a good person. Okay, so this particular verse spoke to me, and I'm hoping that it will speak to you. Let me just go and find it real fast. It's right here. Give me 1 second. This spoke to me it just made a lot of sense to me. It's Matthew 15, verse 13. Every plant that my heavenly Father didn't plant will be uprooted. Leave them alone. They are blind guides, and if the blind guide the blind, both will fall into a pit. Okay, so if you want to start a relationship and you're trying to start a relationship spurred out of wrong things, I think it's mighty important that we are fulfilled and that we have a relationship with the Lord before we enter any kind of relationship. You know, in the Bible it says, you know, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage, and that those things are supposed to be for the sacred bond between man and woman when they become married. So there's an issue when as men that we're so focused on our fleshly desires, you know, and the passion creates conflict. So instead of being so caught up in our fleshly desires, we should be focused on what kind of fruit that we're producing, you know. How is it that you're going about getting a relationship? Is it through the church, or is it through a club, or is it through on the street, or where is it that you're seeking a relationship? You know, and for the people who are hurting and who feel hopeless and, you know, don't see very many options on the table, there is a home for you. There is someone out there that will be yours, only yours, that will love you, and God has that for you. But even more importantly, you should have a loving relationship with the Father, because He will guide you to where you need to go, and He will guide you to that person. You can't be wrong and get what's right. And you know, I get so much joy out of telling people that, because I want to be right. I want to be married. I want love. I want to be alive. I want to be happy. I want to be fulfilled. Every plant that my Heavenly Father didn't plant will be uprooted. The blind are blind guides, and both will fall into a pit. You know, if you do not have a relationship with the Father, you will continually fall into a pit. am trying to speak to the people out there who don't have a relationship with the Lord, and I'm trying to get this through to you because I want the same thing that you do. I have the same passions that you do. And I feel like I'm getting closer to what I want in life, and I feel like I'm becoming more successful, and I feel like I am righteous, but it's only because I have a relationship with God, who speaks truth into my soul, who speaks life into my soul, who guides my every step, and is ultimately love. You know, and if God is love, isn't it so important that we pay attention to that? I just encourage you to seek the Lord, and He will guide you to everything that you could ever want. You know, and I pray for you, and I pray for your love life, and I pray for the men and the women. And that's all I got today, guys. God bless, and I pray blessings upon you, and I pray that God sends this message and gets it across. Take care.